You know, I did this a while ago where I did a video where I was myself. I wore a t-shirt for it. I'm going to wear my uh, Mississippi River Kings jersey for this one. Um, these are what are called itty bitties. They have them at Hallmark. I've had these sitting in that hat for about 4 days now. In any video you look at, you could have probably seen them in the corner. They had a lot of teams. I went, of course, with Dallas and Boston because these guys look like they don't have any hair either, at least from the front. They do from the back, but from the front they look hairless, and there's a resemblance there. Beady little eyes and all. Um, but I wanted to talk to you guys because, you know, YouTube does things and they do them because they're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. And honestly, I'm using their service, their servers, and I'm grateful for whatever I get from them. There's a channel I subscribe to, Emma Blackery, and that'll surprise people who watch Emma Blackery. Be like, really? Shannon watches that crap? Well, Emma Blackery I discovered 2 years ago, and I started watching her because she has an ego, which makes her easy to watch. And she's very good looking, which also makes her easy to watch. And I don't agree with her very often, but I agree with her often enough, and I can understand her points even when I don't agree with her. And she had a video she did, I think it was about a week and a half ago. They have this YouTube Rewind thing. So any channel that's got over 1 million subscribers, they get invited in for this YouTube Rewind, which is all these channels, which is thousands of channels, to do this sort of rock video thing. But how awesome they are and blah, blah, blah. And she was mad because she got like 2 or 3 frames in the video out of 5-6 minutes. And I can understand her point. And yet, when I'm looking at what my channel is and where my channel is going, and I get asked every now and then, well, where do you see your channel going? Well, see, part of the problem I see that people have is they compare me to post, they compare me to Steve Dangle. I don't care. It's a YouTube channel. I compare my channel to other YouTube channels. And if I'm going to compare my channel, I'm going to compare it to the big boys. I'm not going to compare it with somebody who just happens to do hockey videos. I'm going to look and say, you know what? There's a way to market things on YouTube, and I'm going to market it. I'm going to look at it. That's why I have so many tiers on Patreon. I looked at what Phil DeFranco was doing. He's making a lot of money on Patreon. He's making a lot of money in his videos. Phil DeFranco is a very well taken care of man. I looked at Wrestle Talk and how they get Patreon in there and they get the podcasts in there. I'm like, you know what? That's a really good idea too. And they've got different tiers. And I know that every month they read my name out, which is kind of cool. So when they do the Patreon shout out, you'll hear the hockey guy in there. Yeah, the hockey guy is mentioned. I think it's pretty cool. Tier Ollie saying the hockey guy is like kind of meta for me. It's kind of fun. If I could make that a ringtone on my phone, I probably would do it. Anyways, that's what I do. I compare my channel not to somebody who may have 45 or 50,000. I compare it to a channel that's got 400,000. To channels that have got millions. To people like Emma Blackery. And I say, what are they doing? So I can't sing, which Emma does. Anybody who watched my review of Xanadu on my other channel, on The Entertainment Guy, I sang a lot in that one. And when we were finished recording that video, Yvonne said, you sang more in that review we just did than every other video you've done put together on either channel. And I said, yeah, I expect a lot of blowback. Nobody said a word. It hasn't even hit 100 views yet because it's Xanadu. Who wants to talk about Xanadu? Well, I did. I loved the movie Xanadu. And, it's one of those things I like talking about. Now, the reason I mentioned this YouTube thing is because today I looked at my revenues and I went, holy crap. Like, they just took a nosedive by about 70% over where they were a week and a half ago, even though my view counts are really high. You guys have been awesome. So there's a couple of things here. First off, the mid-roll ads, there's something buggy in the system where it's just stopped putting them in or they're not serving or whatever's going on. So I'm going to start doing those manually, which means I'm going to upload my videos as private, go and upload and manually put in ad breaks, and it's a hassle, and I admit I took the lazy way out the first time, and I'm not going to do that again. The other thing, and I'm going to start making it so that when there's an ad break, I'm going to stop talking before the ad break. So it's not going to be the ad break happens while I'm mid-sentence and then comes back and I'm still talking. Since I have so many new subscribers, I'm going to explain it this way. As a YouTube customer, and I am a customer, if I'm watching Emma, if I'm watching Wrestle Talk or Phil or one of these subscribers that I like, I let the ads roll. I let the ads roll right to the end. When you hit skip ad, they don't get the ad revenue for it. And you know, I'm not really telling tales with that, but I know there's not very many channels that say that, and I'm not sure why. It's hopefully 30 seconds, and when people say, oh, Shannon, I skipped an ad because it was 20 minutes, yeah, thank you. Thank you for not having to shoot yourself. I could not sit through and don't sit through ads that are 30 minutes. I've had times where I'm waiting for video on Wrestle Talk, and there'll be like a 5-minute video or 6-minute video that's the commercial, and I'm like, Oli, I love you, dude, but I can't. And I hit skip ad. It happens. But all of these moments when you guys just, I'll just let the ad roll, it makes a difference. And it helps enable this channel to be what it is. As does Patreon. Patreon's been awesome. And if you're at the $40 level and you're waiting for me to contact you about a jersey, I will contact you tomorrow. And we'll start working on which jersey I'm sending. And only send one jersey to people at the $40 level, not one every month, because then I'm literally... I pay more than $40 for the jersey that I buy the person who's at the $40 level. It would make no sense for me to buy a jersey every month for somebody at the $40 level. And I don't send them one of my own because I'm kind of done giving away jerseys. That being said, there's a weird request I'll have for people in Canada. So Sears Canada's closing. Sears Canada's closing everywhere. Do you have a Sears near your place that's closing? See these hangers? They're plastic. They say Sears. And they got a rubber, just this piece of rubber right up here. I'm out of these hangers. Every single jersey on this thing uses these hangers. It makes the rack look so much better. And who doesn't love a good-looking rack? Am I right? So if anybody out there is saying, well, geez, I can get hangers from... Because they just throw them in the back. The way we got this was they just throw them in a bin out behind the store when they're closing. Once they've stopped getting new inventory, they just throw them out. So Yvonne and I went every day to Sears, sometimes for half an hour, sometimes for an hour, and dug through trash bins for all of these. And the ones that I look for, they're double. So there's single plastic too. I'll show you. This one's got the single plastic. So it's concave here because there's no two sides to it. These ones aren't going to last. Still says Sears, they're not going to last. And if Yvonne knew I had one on that, she would be upset with me. Because I told her I wouldn't do it, and then I did. So if anybody who's saying, how can I support the hockey guy? Hangers. Hangers from Sears. Or hangers of that variety. Where it's double-sided plastic, metal at the top, because the nice thing with the metal at the top is that it turns and it doesn't break. And with the rubber on the ends, because it holds the jerseys in place. They don't fall off. A lot of the plastic hangers, they just slide right off. It's so frustrating. So again, I apologize for the rambliness of this, but as I said, my revenues went, so I have to go in and I have to put in mid-roll ads. And I know it's a hassle. But the difference that it makes is really the difference between being able to do this full-time for you guys and to provide all the content for you guys. And what I like with the ad revenue, what I like with the YouTube ad revenue is, other than time, people aren't spending anything. And that's a perfect setup. Really it is. Like, I have people say, well, I'll give you money, and I've had people, you know, give me cash here and there, and I appreciate it. You know, I really try my best to provide content of every type. Like tonight I just finished doing a World Junior Championship one, meaning I watched about 11 hours of hockey today. Yeah, I watched a lot of hockey, and I hit the gym for half an hour. And while I was at the gym for half an hour, almost giving myself a heart attack, I watched hockey because I had hockey on the TV. And I'm like, oh, it's the Boston game. So while I was jogging, you know, yeah. Anyways, so when you guys see those ads, it is what it is. And I understand a lot of people have ad blockers, and I understand why. I was a big customer of ad blockers when I used to go to a lot of gaming sites. I used to hate pop-ups, and I get that people don't like ads. I know there are people who disable their ad blocker for here, and I know there are other channels that discuss what I'm discussing with you right now that I've seen in the comment section people say your channel's the only one I disable my ad blocker for. It's as I said, it's a matter of time. I don't have control over what the ads are. I can ban certain companies from being advertised on my page. I can go into my ad account and say, nope, this company I don't want to. But with ad revenues being where they've been for Google, I don't want to start saying no to companies, and I don't have a chance at sponsorships. It was bandied about when I was below 1,000 subscribers. I had people saying, "Oh, you'll get a sponsorship here and here and here. You're always drinking Coke. Coke will do something with you." Nope. Oh, you'll get a job with some big sports company. Not really, and I'm not really looking forward to that. If it happens, great, but I'm not putting my hopes there, because you're just setting yourself up for failure. And then I'm taking my eyes off of what I'm doing for you guys from day to day. I've started filling this in with ideas of what I want to do every week. You'll notice that Tuesday I had podcast. Today's Tuesday. Did I do a podcast? No. My podcast is on Podbean. I'm going to add that to the description of all of my videos, because I know there's people who've been bugging me for a podcast that don't know that I have one. And I've been looking at how, I can use ad revenues with podcasts, and it's going to be a hassle. It's going to be a giant hassle to get paid to do podcasts, but I'm going to work on it so there would be an ad at the start and an ad at the end, and that's it. No ads in the middle. So I'm trying to do my best, and you'll notice it says Patreon shout out every Friday. I've been trying to figure out, okay, so I'm going to have this stuff where I can see it when I do videos, and make sure that every day I follow something, and I'm going to fill in stuff for every day, so that you guys know what to expect. And I have a more regular schedule for you guys, so that you're not waking up one morning going, geez, did he do that? When did he? Oh, he did that the other day. I missed it. So I want there to be a more predictable schedule, and that's the plan. Now, when you've got a wife and 3 kids, plans sometimes go out the window. I also want to state that for people who are $6 patrons and want to program a video every month, send those ideas to, I've got a new email address. I'll go ahead and write it up on here. It is just for the channel, so I'm not giving this out to any spammers or any of that crap, because that's been a problem. Well, of course, that's not going to want to go in or come out. Awesome. All right, I'll use this stupid little marker. Come on. Yeah, B. Because hockey starts with a B, Shannon. I need sleep. That's an @ symbol. hockeyguyvids@gmail.com. That's the new email address to send suggestions to, or stuff like that, and make sure you've got in the subject line $6 subscriber. Here's my idea of the month. And honestly, the ideas that people have given me have been some of my best performing videos. So if I haven't got to an idea you've sent me, I intend to, because you guys have great ideas. And the whole idea I had with this from the beginning was, this channel was for hockey fans who might feel disenfranchised from the mainstream sports media, and just from the way that the sport is covered wherever you are. Whether it's because they don't talk about your team enough, they talk about some other team too much, whether they don't talk about players as much as they should, or maybe they just talk about hockey at the end of the sportscast, and it's just sort of, yeah, so these teams won, and here was a fight from tonight. Wasn't this funny? Or, well, look what wacky thing happened with hockey tonight. And I've seen it on some U.S. broadcasts, and it ticks me off, because I'll watch, a bunch of really good games, and I think it was with, I think it was a Detroit broadcast, where they talk about the Red Wings, and then they're like, and look at what else wacky stuff happened in hockey. And I'm like, really? Because Detroit's had hockey for a century, right? So you'd think they treat it seriously and somewhat on par with football, or no. Nope. So I was offended and upset with that way back when. That was quite a while ago. That's when I used to watch WDIV late at night. So that was quite a ways back. But that stuff sticks with me. So that's why I have this channel. That's why I'm up now at 11:10 my time, 2:10 on the East Coast, and I apologize for that, people. But I'm up late talking to you guys about what's going on, because it's important. it's important this channel keeps going forward, and that you guys feel like you're a part of it. Because if at any point in time you can look back at videos from over a year ago and say, man, that's when Shannon, that was before it went to his head, that's a problem. And I want to make sure that never happens. That's why I almost apologize when one of my favorite teams is doing really well and I want to gush about it. I basically apologize for 5 minutes. Like, yeah, Boston, I don't want to talk, I can't talk about it. And it's tough. But this is a good problem to have. And thankfully, Vancouver's taken themselves out of that equation. And Dallas, Boston's up here right now. Dallas is here, and Vancouver is right below the Whalers in terms of odds of making the Stanley Cup final and winning the Stanley Cup this year. Right below the Whalers. And I don't mean the Hurricanes. I mean like a resurrection of the Hartford Whalers under Blaine Stoughton's mustache. Also, another thing, I do have a bunch of jerseys on the way. This rack is going to be changing in that there's some jerseys I just don't wear for videos. So those ones I'm going to be packing upstairs. I've had the suggestion made that maybe I could auction some off or get rid of some. The problem I have is a lot of the jerseys I've had, I've got really good deals on, and I don't think I'd find them for really good deals again. So it would suck to get rid of jerseys I have, and then later on say, man, you know, I really miss when I had X jersey. Why don't I? Oh, and then I look it up on eBay and I'm like, wow, that's way more than I got for that shirt. So there are things going on. Of course, I posted this on, I know I posted it on Twitter. I don't think I posted it on the channel. There is Hockey Guy merchandise available that Yvonne took logos people sent me and used it on the site. So for people who sent me logos, it's there, and I appreciate all of their work and their graphical genius, because I've tried designing logos. I'm not bad in Photoshop. I'm not. I used to do graphics for a website that I had back in the day, and I could make really nice graphics. Beautiful graphics. Logos? Nah. No, I couldn't design a logo for my life. I wanted to have just a simple logo of red, yellow, and black that was on a shield. I just wanted an upside-down triangle and just a shield and just 3 letters, and I couldn't make it look great. I had it in my head, I just couldn't make it look great on the image, and it just made me angry. So I'm glad. I've always been glad that there have been people out there who could do it. I know with my wrestling site too, there were always graphic artists who were like, "Hey, look, you want to use this logo?" I'm like, "Really? Awesome!" And it just makes everything pop. So it sucks that I can still do half decent graphics, and I can. I just have to use GIMP now because I don't have my own copy of Photoshop. Photoshop's really expensive, and now they want a monthly subscription for Photoshop? Oh, go to hell. I'm not doing that. There's no bloody way I'm paying every month to have a program that costs me through the nose to get. So, you know, if anybody has a graphics program that's I'm not going to say free, because not necessarily, but a graphics program that works sort of like Photoshop. And I'm thinking like Paint Shop, but I haven't seen Paint Shop in forever either. I was good at Paint Shop too. But something like that, because I'd like to be able to do graphics and stuff like that and have some fun with that. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys have a program that you'd recommend for that. Like I said, I use GIMP too, and I get by, but I don't use it very often. Basically, just for when you see images of, say, the 25,000 video, 20,000, I go into GIMP, I just do something simple, and then I upload it. And those ones are done with GIMP too, which is a free program. So anyways, there's just some channel stuff for you guys to mull over. And as I said, for those of you who sit through ads and put up with advertising on the channel, I thank you, because that ad revenue frees me up so that I can be here doing these videos every day, and I don't have to worry about the possibility of stopping this to go to a full-time 40-hour-a-week job, which I had when I started this, and I gave up in early September in order to better serve you guys. And really, it has made a huge difference in terms of growth on the channel, view counts, and my ability to break news. So when something happens on TSN, Sportsnet, whatever, or breaks on Twitter, sometimes I get it on Twitter, and I do a video immediately on it, and I get that video up before people have even heard about it through their feeds on their apps. That's really what I was trying to do, because I got really frustrated being at work and seeing a big trade happen or a big signing happen and be like, oh, why am I not at home? And it's frustrating, right? Because I knew that was something that could get a lot of attention and go mainstream. I've been asked before as well, what is your goal for the year? What is your goal? In terms of subscribers, so we're at 25,700 and something. I think it's 734 last time I looked. I don't know. It changes rapidly. Sometimes I've noticed I sometimes lose 5 or 10 subscribers in like 5 minutes. My honest goal for this year would be 50,000. That's my honest goal. I'm being realistic. In terms of when people say, what's your ultimate goal? I don't know. Cover as much hockey as possible. Talk about as much hockey as possible. As I said, I did a World Junior video tonight. Why? Because people watched that first World Junior video. I expected to get maybe 1,300 views on it and nothing. And I got a lot of views. How much money did I make on it? Barely anything. But the views are there. It brings people in. And I believe it encourages more people to subscribe. And it silences people who say, he's just the NHL guy. He doesn't talk about other things. Yeah, I do. And I know I haven't talked about SPHL in a while. That's got to go on the weekly. You know what? Let's do that. While I've got you guys here, let's put, yeah, that's good. That's fantastic. Just, let's do that. I'm like an Office Space where he's fighting with the copier, and he's like, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. While it's eating the paper and spitting it out at the same time. I often feel like that. Let's do that. You want to go? Okay, my SPHL day. To review all things SPHL. We'll do that on Sundays. How does that sound? So again, if there's something you guys think I should have on the weekly planner, let me know in the comment section below. And this again isn't so that it'll become really predictable, because there's always going to be trades and signings and stuff going on. And I am owing you guys a Max Pacioretty video I didn't get to today. But there should be stuff that you guys go, hey, it's Wednesday. He's going to do this video today. I want you guys to have that. And if you want to see me just sitting here being myself and just talking stuff about the channel and needing more coat hangers for my jerseys, then by all means, let me know what day you think I should do that on. Is that a Monday thing? Is that a Wednesday thing? You guys want to hear about that after a long, crappy day at work on Monday? But yeah, let me know what you guys want, and odds are you'll get it. Thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through and you sat through my rant. Not really a rant, more of a just yapping. And thank you guys for being out there. Makes it worth being in here. And I'm going to say this as the last thing. 2017 was a year that saw my son move out, and that was a very difficult thing for me. And these holidays, with him not here and me not seeing him, I don't think, if I didn't have this channel and if I didn't have my lovely wife, I don't know that I would have got through the holidays. I hid it from you guys how much it was bothering me. I hid it from her. I didn't tell her until Christmas Eve. There was something that was said and I got upset. And I started crying because I said, you know, I miss my kid. This hurts. And I hadn't been expressing that. So you guys have really been a greater help to me than you know. And I thank you for that. It was a very, very, very difficult thing to deal with. And it's not something I wish on anybody. And, you know, I get asked every now and then, oh, I hope things work out. Yeah, I do too, but I'm realistic. There've been contentious relationships in my family between generations and between relatives. And sometimes I was the one that left, and sometimes other people left, and sometimes it was two people, you know, that weren't directly involved with me that I watched split. So my only view is that as long as he had a good holiday, and as long as he's happy, and as long as he's doing well, that's fine. If me being portrayed as the villain on his side makes it easier for him, I'm totally fine with that. That's fine. And thank you. So before I start crying or anything like that, I'm gonna go. But this channel means tons to me, a lot, and it has provided me with more joy through these holidays than I thought possible. And I love you guys. So I'll talk to you again soon. Good night.